All right, so with this video, I'm going to continue with For Comprehension, and I'm going to show you a really useful function, which is filter. And you can filter values out of a list. So this is something which I use quite often because I do a lot of transformations on data within lists, not just data, but strings, and for any sort of item within my list which doesn't really meet a condition, then it's going to return a none, and I don't want to have nuns in my list, right? So to speed things up a bit, I've already written out my list. I've already written everything out. Didn't want to spend too long writing everything out. And if you followed on with my other videos, you'll notice that I do that, and I want to try and kind of reduce doing it and get to the point, right? All right, so here's my list, and you've got a list of lists. So instead of just a list, and I could have just done a list, but let's take it back to a list of lists, and I'm going to flatten that list, and the result on the flattened list is going to remove the nuns. So within this list, you've got two lists, and these items within the list are integers or numbers, and as you can see, we've got some none values. So this is kind of like me simulating a result where I've done something, I've got a list of lists, and I've got some none items within my list, and I want to take them out, right? All right, so let's just print this out, and we'll see what that looks like. All right, so, and I've already typed out my command, so I want to try and avoid kind of typing things out, taking too long typing things out. Okay, and so I'll just run that, and here we can say, see the result, which is the list of lists, and I'm going to do some filtering on that. So let's build the For Comprehension. So For Comprehension, you do everything inside the brackets because that represents that you are creating a new list on the results rather than doing transformations on an existing list. So you're creating a new list from an existing list. I hope that makes sense. All right, so within that, what we'll do, we'll say for, and remember I've got the mic very close to my mouth, so I make a lot of mistakes when I type because I can't see the keyboard very well. So we've got for sublist, I'm going to call that sublist in L. So L is my list, and my sublists are going to be these sublists within my list, which is a list of lists. Okay. And then, as you can remember, when we flatten a list of lists, we start off, we go from left to right, right? So we start off with our loop for our list, and then we go to the right, and we'll say another one, which is for, I'll say item in sublist, and you can keep on going, right? You can keep on doing that. So if it were a list of lists, then you can put another loop in there, like 3 of them, right? But not to confuse you, I'll just stick to 2. All right, so we've got for sublist in list, and then for item in sublist. So list, sublist, and then each of these are items. And then also just to refresh your memory, if we wanted to, okay, if I just start off over here and I put item, so on the front of the For Comprehension, that's where we return our result. And then at the end of the For Comprehension, we can also put some conditions like if item, etc., 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 right? That sort of thing. And then what I'm going to do is, instead of printing inside of the list, I'm just going to create a new list with the result. So I'll call that x equals the list, and we'll print that out because this is going to be our flattened list. And if if I just run that, and that didn't run for some reason. Let's have a look at that again. Yeah, there we go. So here we've got the flattened list, and you can see that we've got these values in there, right? So we've got a couple of duplicate values in there, and we've got these duplicate nuns in there as well, right? So let's introduce the filter function, and it's a function that takes 2 arguments. So the first argument is going to be none, and the second argument is going to be our list. And so this is me showing you something really basic here, where I'm just going to filter out literally nuns, but then you can also replace that none with a function, right? And so within that function you could be doing something which is then returning nuns that you want to filter out, right? Or something else that you want to filter out, right? So let's print that out, and right, what that gives us, it's done the filtering and it's giving us this filter object, right? So that's not really going to be much use to us. Looking at that, we want to convert that back into a list, right, after we've done the filter. So let's convert that into a list to give us our result. So that has removed the nuns, and we've now got a list, right? Now something else I'm going to quickly show you, and as you can see, you've got these duplicate values in there, and so let's just call that Y. And I'm going to introduce what is called a set, right? So you've got different types of lists. You've got a set, you've got a tuple, and you've got a list. So a list is mutable and a set is not mutable, right? And a set will only have unique values. So it's a good way to deduplicate anything in there which is deduplicate anything in there which is obviously a duplicate. So let's just run that, and as you can see down here, we've got our result, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've removed the nuns and we've removed the duplicates. So this was just a quick video just showing you filters, and this is something which I use quite a lot, and I'm going to do some more advanced stuff on filters, but this is just a very quick introduction into using it and how useful it can be.